My favorite die from the newest Karen Burniston release is the Photo Collage Pop-up. It is awesome for pictures, but it's perfect for fun pop-up interactive cards for holidays too. Hello and welcome to Karen's Creative Cards on YouTube. I am Karen Hashik and I had so much fun making cards with this new die set that you're going to see many more photo collage cards on my blog and Instagram. In this video I am sharing 2 holiday cards and I'm going to show you step by step how I made my Christmas photo collage pop-up card. So this is the die set. It's the Photo Collage Pop-up, and of course you can use photos, and I've done that and will show you on my blog. These are the die pieces that you get in that set, and I'm going to show you how to use those. The first card that I made is a Halloween card. So I didn't do anything on the front because you really don't need to. All the magic happens on the inside, especially if you're using two-sided designer paper, as I did here, cardstock actually. So look, it pops up. When I show you in the demonstration, I'm going to show that you can use 8 different photo elements to pop up, but in this time I decided to leave it at 6, and I've seen ones that are done with 4, so it's very versatile. All the dies that I used in this pop-up are from Karen Burniston, and here's the ones I used: the Halloween elements, the Halloween charms, and the Halloween scene. So I think any kid of any age would love to get a Halloween card like this, right? Too fun. This is the card that I'm going to show you how to make. As always, I highly recommend you watch the instructional videos on the Karen Burniston website. She is the best teacher. But I'm showing you that anyone can make these interactive cards, and they are not hard to make. So this one has From Our Home to Yours on the front. Again, a very simple front. This die is from Tonic Studios, and when you open it, it says, "Wishing you peace, joy, and love," and some pretty snowflakes. So you can see the interactive movement of that is really fun. I use snowflakes from a whole bunch of different companies, and the peace, joy, and love are from Tim Holtz by Sizzix. And this love is from Honeybee Stamps. And then I use the Karen Burniston rectangle crosshatch for a place to sign. I always recommend that you, that goes with that, start when you first get your die sets. Just create a sample with paper you really don't care about and make that your template, okay? So as I go along, I will refer to this, and I do, even though I've made about 6 of these now, it's really helpful to practice and make one that you don't care about giving away, and it gives you an idea after watching her video where you want your pictures to be and things like that. So I find that very helpful. This is the first part that I'm going to show you how to do, and again, I have a template that I just keep. So I have followed along on her instructions and done this the way she suggests, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So you want to start with a minimum of an A2 card base, and I have decided to use square cards for both of these, either 5 1/4 square or 5 1/2 square. And I've done some gluing and die cutting because you don't need to watch me do that. So the front is ready, and the inside has a couple pieces on. I found that when I was working with my sample that I needed a little extra weight on the front and the back to get this to work. This is a little bit thinner. I wanted the two-sided cards, cardstock, but it's pretty thin. So I added an extra layer on the front and an extra layer on the back, and you can use that, of course, to write a message. We start with cutting the apparatus piece, which is right here. And we've also cut the flags. So there are 3 pieces that you're going to cut every time. It's the 2 flags and the apparatus. The top of the spinner has 4 dots. So you can tell you have the top when you can see the dots. And another brilliant thing it has is this opening right in the center, and that's going to make it so easy to line up with the center of your card. You're going to look at the dots. Look at my piece here. Here's a dot. And I know it's kind of hard to see on here, but there is, and you can see it maybe better on here. There's a dot here, and we're going to draw an arrow from there to the side, and then from this dot to this side, and then from this dot and this dot. So you're going to draw 4 arrows, and you'll see why in a minute why we're doing that. And again, Karen's brilliant instructions really help make this easy to do. So from the little dot areas, we're going to go down and up. And then in holding it, you're going to put a mark on the back of the lower right, and I can flip it here and see that, make sure I'm doing it right. And actually it's the lower. So if I have it like this, oh, I'm on the back, duh, that's why. Okay, so up here I want to mark, and down here I want to mark. So, and there'll be a reason for that too. So when you flip it, it's there and there. Okay, so now we are going to train all the folds. So you're going to go, there's on the sides here, there's 2. And then down the center of the apparatus, there's another one. And then there's diagonal lines in the center there. I'm doing this from scratch so I can show you that is not hard to do. So you're going to put your fingers under these straight lines here and push up with those, and then the diagonal lines will fold in, and you will get a kind of like an arrow shaped piece like that. So the first couple times that I did it, I kind of struggled with that a little bit. But it isn't hard, and once you, if you do train them several times, they're just going to kind of pop into that. So now you're going to turn it over, and you're going to use some good strong tape to put tape on the back here. Let me get the start here. And there is a line here, and I'll show that to you. So that line that we have drawn on the back of these 2 sections here, we don't want tape there. Karen says that's to make this apparatus move better, and she's the paper engineer, and I totally believe her. She showed just putting tape alongside that line but not on it, and then along the diagonal fold on the top. And then you can take a thicker good orange red liner tape and fill in that area that is left. Oop. Or if all you have is the thin, of course you can fill it in with that, but it just goes a little faster if you have the different widths. And then you're going to get a room to work here. Open up your card, and you're going to remove the red liner tape from one side only that you have placed down. Oh, it's like, there shouldn't be any tape there. Well, there's not tape, there's just one of those extra liners there. Phew. Okay, so I have marked here in the center where the those liner covers don't want to get off my fingers here, where I want to place that. And see, with that hole, you know, it's kind of hard to find your center usually if you're trying to line it up evenly. But again, whoops, Karen has made a brilliant die and has helped us, and we're going to take the piece that you removed the tape from right there and attach that. Okay, but we're not going to take the tape off of this side quite yet. So we're now going to apply the arms that I have cut out, and I am using her glue to do that as is suggested. And we're looking for the ones that are tapered that way. Okay, so there's an arrow that we have drawn, and we're basically going to cover up those arrows with glue. So that's why we put those there, and it makes it very, very easy to know exactly where you want your glue and where you want your arms to be applied. And there is a diagonal edge here, and you're going to line that edge up on the arm with that in between the notch and the top. And then you're going to repeat that along the top, putting glue again on the arrow that has been drawn. Now there's also two small arrows there on the top and the bottom, and we're going to put glue and then tuck the arms of these sides underneath the other one. So you line it up with the diagonal again, and you tuck it under the top one. And then you repeat that with this one. Come on. Give them a second to set up. Now, hold it the right way here. In Karen's video, she shows how to connect these notches here and then removes her tape. But I'm finding that I'm fine with removing the tape liners first, just being careful, of course, not to press it down. So I am going to show it that way. And of course, it's up to you once you play with this to see what works best for you. So I've removed that tape liner on the back, and now I'm going to take those two slots and slide them together so that it's laying flat, and then I'm going to push this side down. So both sides are pushed down, and then the first time that you try to get this to work, you want to get your fingers in there and help that apparatus move a little bit better. So let's see if she's ready. She is. So you can see that it is working. It is going to open and close every time we open and close that. So now we have cut 8 backing rectangles, and you can choose to use basically whatever you want. I've used ovals and squares, and when you do it with pictures, you're going to have 8 backing rectangles and then 8 picture frames with the pictures. But I have chosen to make this one a Christmas one, so I have 4 red that have pretty snowflakes in silver, and then I have my words. And so you're going to pick what is considered your glory shot, which I'm going to say peace, world peace, right? Isn't that the one that's primary? And you're going to put that right there. So for the first 2, you're going to apply glue along the center of this apparatus. And you're going to line it up with the left square straight side there. But you don't want to go too close to that center. You're going to leave a little space there because I was finding if I put these 2 pieces too close together, then the apparatus did not want to work. So now I'm going to put Joy on, and Joy is going to line up with this side. I'm hoping you can see that, with this side here, and so that's going to be offset a little bit, which makes these really interesting. The way they are placed on here are at different angles and different areas. So lining it up with the right side, not getting too close to the top. And then after each one that you place, you want to check to make sure that your apparatus is going to still close. This might be a little too close. Yep. So still moving. And that's the suggestion that she makes, and it's a really good one. After you attach each one, especially if you're using an A2 card, because the placement is important, otherwise they show at the top or the bottom. So our love, let's see, I think we're going to go in order though. So we have 1 and 2 done, and now we're going to do 3, which is up there. And so we're going to take one of the pretty snowflakes. And number 3 is attached high and a little to the right above here. And I'm going to follow another brilliant suggestion of Karen's. And for the rest of these, she applied them with tape runner, and she puts a little piece of some kind of scratch paper underneath to do it. I was like, oh no, I can use glue dots. They hold better. No, you don't want to use glue dots, because if the placement has to be changed, and occasionally it does, in fact more than occasionally it does, then you can't get them off very well. So tape runner does, it is a permanent, and I'm using my favorite Gina K dots roller. It is permanent eventually, but it does give you a little time to be able to play with it, which is important because occasionally you have to move them. So I am going to do it high and a little to the right. And then I'm going to, as we're working with this, sometimes we have to help it a little bit. And then make sure that it doesn't show to the top or the bottom or the sides or anywhere. And then, we're going to apply one to the bottom. And again, use a tape runner and a little bit of scratch paper there. And then this one is going to be on the bottom arm, low and to the left. Oh, come on. Okay. Now we're going to apply 5 and 6, and I found that 5 and 6 are the ones that mostly tend to show. So I think it's important to kind of go in a little bit. They're on the side arms with 5 attached towards the bottom of the arm, so it's going to come up from the bottom, and then 6 is going down. And I'm going to go in a bit and then towards the bottom. And then see, it doesn't show, but sometimes it does. So depending on the size, you'll have to move that around and play with it a little bit. And then this one is towards the top of the arm and in a bit. Okay, so nothing shows, and we're definitely developing our message of peace, joy, and love. Now, you could stop there, and that would be pretty, but I'm going to go ahead and show you 7 and 8, and then we'll be done. On this one, I did use glue dots, so I guess I made an exception to that, because it's going to be here, and so I did find that those were not an issue as far as placement. And it's easier just to put a glue dot right in the corner. So 7 is actually up here, just behind the center one. So you're going to place it, and I hope I don't regret this, but I think I don't. I think I was good with using glue dots. So but yep, we're good. And then one more. And then this one's going to be in the front here in the corner. And while you're working with it until it's completely you do have to help it along a little bit. But there we go. Our pop-up photo collage, this time with a Christmas message, is complete. From our home to yours. Wishing you peace, joy, and love with pretty snowflakes and a place to sign. I'm loving how these photo collage cards for Halloween and Christmas turned out, and we'll be making more, I'm sure. I hope they've inspired you to try these awesome dies. Thanks for watching, sharing, and subscribing, and thanks too for helping me share the joy of creativity.